Hey, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. I know, I know. It's been a minute. There's been a lot of changes in my life. A lot of things going in a good direction, and definitely want to get back on track with making videos pretty regularly. I just had some stuff going on. Nothing bad. Just like I was just like having a lot going on as far as like changing jobs and like dealing with my own mental health. So I definitely didn't have the bandwidth to really make videos at this point. So yeah, but I'm back now. I'm here, and yeah. So thank you for waiting for me to come back. Hello to all my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. Hello to all my old subscribers. You guys are awesome as well. Thanks for watching all my old videos. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for stumbling upon my videos on just out of the blue. Like I know my type of content is exactly something that you're gonna see really presented and like marketed or on the front page of YouTube. So if you just so happen to stumble upon my videos, then welcome and I thank you. All right, so this video is gonna be talking about a concept that I was presented with from my therapist about 7 weeks ago. We first started to like really talk about this concept, and this is self-compassion. Of course, you're like self-compassion. That's pretty obvious. It's compassion for yourself. Yes, yes, it is. But actually practicing it and implementing it and doing it consciously is a whole different beast on its own. So it all started on a session with my therapist where, well, not even just one session. It was like many sessions that we had. And when I would always recount a story, anytime I talk about myself, I would talk about how dumb I was or how stupid I was or how icky. It would always be something really negative involving me in relation to what was going on. Like, oh, I was so this, or, oh, I was so that, or I was so that. And he knows the pattern of me just being really self-deprecating. He was like, what do you say to yourself? Like, what's your type of self-talk? And he knows the pattern of me really doubting myself, really being really mean and vicious to myself. And that's when the whole self-compassion started, because he's trying to figure out what was the root of a lot of that. And of course, a lot of it started from when I was younger. No secret, my family pretty much bullied me when I was little. Then I went outside into the world and got bullied. So it's like I just got bullied everywhere I went, and I was short and small and didn't really know how to fight back when I was little. So the only way I knew how to cope with what was going on with me is to just beat people to the punch. Like pretty much internalize everything people will say about me and internalize it and take it upon it. And pretty much it would take shape and become reality. So people said certain things about me, I would just kind of like take on it and just be it. So, and I would just down myself all the time, like, oh, I'm not that smart, or I'm not that attractive, or I'm not that thing. Like anything people say about me, I would just like, yeah, you're right. I'm kind of like not that good at anything, or I'm not that talented, I'm not that smart. Even though the smart thing was probably one of the least of my problems, because that was like the only thing I was actually remotely praised for, was being smart and articulate. So people were like, oh, you're so smart and articulate, you're so well spoken. So that was like, yeah, 8 points for me, because being praised was something that I definitely craved younger. When I was younger, I craved being praised because I didn't get a lot of it. I got very little of it. So when I did get it, I was always happy. And it usually came from the most random places, especially at school. That's when I got praised probably the most, at least. Yeah, school was the part I got the most praise from. So I took that as, oh, I'm special. Even though everywhere else in the world, as far as like the only people that really praised me for being smart was like teachers and stuff. Like none of my family praised me for being smart. They for them, praising me was pretty much a reflection of them. They felt like they were getting something out of it more so than praising me for I was doing a good job. Like, oh, I'm such a great parent. Look at my child. Let me show him off to you how smart and intelligent he is. Look at what I've done, even though they had nothing to do with how intelligent I was. But that's another subject for itself. But those building blocks of self-deprecation really started early on, from middle school all the way up to like early 20s. God, I can say early 20s now. Yuck. Ugh, I'm so old. Yeah, early 20s is really bad. Like, and then like being gay, kind of like getting inside that whole gay scene in my mid teen years made it worse, because the gay scene was so vicious and just ripe with like reading you and being mean and just catty. So it's like I was just like torn apart for like majority of my life. So I was just accustomed to being, like, oh, I know I'm ugly, or I know I'm unattractive, I know I'm stupid, or I know I'm like not worthy, or this, so I'm not really like well valued. I know all this stuff already. So it's kind of like I would regurgitate that same stuff to myself. And when bad things happen or I feel bad, I'll just make myself feel worse. Like, oh, you're so stupid, you're so weak. Why are you sad about a breakup? Breakup's even not that big of a deal. Like, why are you sad over a guy you love? Like, what? You loved him? Who loves people these days? That's so stupid. Who you supposed to just be gone, done, whatever. You was only with him for a year. Get over it. And I'll just keep doing that, and just any situation come that happened to me, I would just kind of like make myself feel worse. So self-deprecation is something I'm good at, and it's something I shouldn't be good at, and it's something I'm not proud of being good at anymore. I used to be like, oh, I'm just self-deprecating, it's just normal, but it's not good because it doesn't really help you, especially when you have issues with anxiety and depression. It's not, you're basically helping the depression get worse. So yeah, I was always my worst enemy. And I remember an interview that Chester Benningfield from, was it Chester Benningfield? Or no, Bennington. I think that's his last name. I get his last name mixed up with somebody else. Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park. May he rest in peace. He did an interview talking about depression, and I think it was like a month before he had committed suicide. He was talking about how, the guy inside his head is the worst enemy, and he's like the worst person. And oh God, got that, because I understand that like full heartedly. The person inside my head is really awful. He is self-sabotaging. He definitely tries to like make me feel the worst about myself than any other person on earth can probably ever do. So when Chester said that, I got it full on. I knew what he meant. I know what he was talking about. I felt it. It was in my spirit. I'm like, yes, Chester, I am there with you when it comes to that. So being a person who suffered from depression and definitely having a propensity to be self-deprecating, it's just a recipe for disaster. Like, there's no way you can come out of that being a healthy, well-rounded human being. There's no way, because you're feeding yourself negativity when you already feel negative about yourself in the first place. So it's like you're not doing anything to help yourself. But there was no avenues or places for me to ever have to like do something different or have a different outlook or a different perspective. It was always, well, that's just how it is, and that's just it. And you kind of just live in this world of, that's just how shitty my life is, and there's nothing I can do about it. You kind of just go around this little circle, this loop of just everything's terrible and nothing you can do about it. Everything's terrible and nothing you can do about it. It's like you feel terrible because you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it because you feel terrible. It's like this loop, and you stick in it. So to say all that, I've had a long history of self-deprecation and bad self-talk. So he wanted to challenge me in trying to change that type of behavior by being more compassionate for myself when things happen that are bad or things that aren't so comfortable. And it's been really useful because in my previous breakup that happened last year, like, it was the tool that I definitely needed, because in my other breakup, like, almost, God, it's been like 6 years since the other breakup I had that was really tragic. It took me like 3 years to get over that. Like, to be completely transparent, that breakup in 2013 took like 3 years to get over. Like, no, like, full stop. Like, that's just how long it took, because I was the whole time like, people were saying, oh, just get over it, it's not a big deal, you weren't even together that long, what is 2 years? When you loved him, what does that even mean? Like, you can't love somebody in 2 years. So I was like, yeah, you're probably right. And I was like pretty much feeding into the self-talk and then having it replicated by other people. It's like nothing was getting accomplished. So it took a long time to get over it. And even now, this day, I still have like instances where I'm like, oh, that still kind of hurts a little bit. So to say I'm fully over it, I would be lying if I said I was. But to say that I am better after it, I could say I am maybe 90%. There's always this like little 10% that always hits me every now and then when I think about that. And just a relationship I had last year that, ended, unfortunately. It took me, I mean, I'm not as bad this time around because I'm knowing that it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to have days where you feel like shit, and it's okay to have days when you miss that person, when you know they're never gonna come back. And it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to feel that way because you're human and you're okay to feel things. Like, it's not a bad thing to feel things. It's like we're in a society where feeling things is such a bad thing. That's just positivity. Like, oh, positive vibes only, positive vibes only, positively only. Like, I don't live like that. That's just, no, that's living in a fake reality. I don't live like, that's very plastic. I don't live like that. Like, I know that sometimes everything ain't always gonna be, sunshine and rainbows and kisses. Everything isn't always love all day long. Sometimes things just suck. Sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes we get hurt and we fall down, we cry, and that's okay. That's the part of being human. So the compassion part comes in where you can feel okay that you feel like shit. Like, it's fine. You feel like shit. You won't feel like shit forever, but right now it's okay. You feel like shit. And just be compassionate for the mistakes you make. Like, oh, you made a mistake. Well, you're human and you did the best you could. I think the one thing that I love the most about self compassion is telling yourself you did the best you could with the tools and knowledge that you had at the time when things happened, and you made the choice that you made based on what you had to go off of at that point. So compassion tells you to, you did the best you could with what you had at that time period, and that's okay. So yeah, that's my spiel on self compassion. I think it's a really wonderful concept. I feel like it's something that definitely needs to be more mainstream because we're so into this whole positive vibes only, which is so fake, plastic, and like, oh, it's just gross. Like, being positive is cool, but being honest is better, and being transparent is better than just fake positivity all day. Like, I just don't live like that. So yeah, that's my spill on self compassion. Hopefully this concept helped. What do you guys think about self compassion? Is it something that you actively do already? I mean, am I just a cuckoo bird who just all of a sudden stumbled upon this concept and everybody else is just already doing it? And I'm just like taking my time to get to it. If I just like not on the self compassion train or the self compassion wave, let me know in the comments below. Leave a comment, please. I love comments, they're amazing. I love to read them. I love hearing your thoughts about the content I put out here. So let me know what you think. Share this video with people, maybe it'll help them feel better. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.